There's no sound.
Oh, no.
No, that's me. I'll try, but
So put on the sound.
we gotta get our AV guy.
Did you try turning it off and turning it on again, or?
Hey, I understand that reference. Let's try this again. Sorry.
No, we're not gonna do well. This is really cool.
Yeah. Woo. Woo.
Just imagine. Tell that take me back.
Take me back. Take you back. Yep.
Well, sound is not our friend today, I guess, but we have visuals. And if you are here for I'm the girl with the big ass gun, how Wynonna Earp reinvented the strong woman trope, you are in the right place. So thank you. While I'm doing this, how about if I just say who I am and we'll let the panelists introduce themselves. I am Tanya Cook, not to be confused with Doc Holliday. Today, I know it's hard to keep us separate. So I'm actually a sociology professor, and this is what I do on my weekends to tell my students stories about. And I also research charitable action in fandoms. So of course, Earpers are wonderful and amazing, and I'm looking at all of you, and especially Fight for Wynonna right now, which we are definitely going to talk about. Thank you.
My name is Jessica Mason. I'm a writer, a freelancer. I write a lot for the Mary Sue, Little Princess. And I write about fandom and television and Wynonna.
Hi, I'm Paige. I do a lot of intersectional feminist critique at conventions. Based in Portland, Rose City Comic Con is like my home con, but I come here every year.
My name is Princess Weeks. I'm the assistant editor at the Mary Sue. I contribute to Bust Magazine. I talk about race things a lot. And I was just recently had the pleasure of being a part of the Queering the Script documentary, which is going to be coming out all about queer fandom and all of its amazingness. So I'm really excited to be here with y'all today.
Wow, it's a hard act to follow. I'm Brittany Daly, and so my day job is I work for Costco. So yeah, I get to follow that.
Costco's important.
Thank you.
It really is.
My day job is taking care of a rambunctious 3-year-old, so.
And I forgot, we were supposed to say our favorite characters,
Oh.
so I'll start. Mine is, I'm going to say Doc until season 3.
You took my answer, but I also love Doc, but I also love Jeremy. He makes my heart happy.
Oh man, favorite is hard. I guess Waverly, sweet little princess.
Wynonna, 1000%.
Dolls.
Oh.
R.I.P.
So we are going to talk about the show, and that means we're going to talk about all of the seasons of the show, so there's going to be spoilers. Okay? All right. So let's kind of start with this idea of what do we mean by this strong woman trope, and I'm going to let the panelists respond to this, and I'm mostly here to like run slides and wear a hat. But anyway, we're going to kind of start there, and I guess just my understanding of it is just whenever we see in sci-fi representation in terms of women always have to be strong, right? Like they've got to be strong, but there's not a lot of additional information about that. So I want to talk today about how Wynonna changes that. But first, let's just start with how you understand this strong woman trope.
Well, I'm very lucky to have been trained in anime. So I grew up watching Sailor Moon. And one of the great things about Sailor Moon is that you have a protagonist who's super, super strong, but also a super crybaby. And so at the very beginning, you're like being taught in like that, non-Western style that there is a way to be very, very feminine, but also like hold all the power of the cosmos. But then on the flip side, like that's why we love Buffy and that's why we love Xena, is like you had these women who were strong but also had their own personality. Xena was really one of the first great anti-heroines who was actively like fighting for redemption while knowing that she could never fully redeem herself. And it gave her all of these layers of being a mother, a warrior, a warlord, someone who had really like lived a full life. And I think that's what's so important, is that you become a strong woman through having lived a life.
Yeah, and going off of that, like you have Gamora up there and you have Katniss. I think that it's more so in film than in television, where you have just one female character, and so basically they must be everything at all times that a woman must be. So they have to be strong, but they also have to be pretty, and they have to be kind and compassionate. And so on television shows like Xena or like Wynonna, where you have this breadth of female characters, you allow more flawed female characters, somebody like Wynonna who could be incredibly messy, and female characters who can be bad guys or who can screw up. So when you don't have just one character like Gamora, who I love, but she's, the sole, female character in the first Guardians, who's a protagonist and a hero. She's this like perfect, greatest warrior in the galaxy, and also the love interest, and also it's a lot to put on one character, and it doesn't allow for them to have flaws, which is what makes interesting characters.
It also doesn't make them very realistic, and when you have to have somebody to live up to all of these different things, it makes them really flat. The best example I can think of is actually Black Widow in the Avengers. It's like, does she even have a personality?
She's hair that changes every movie.
Yeah, I think that it really also perpetuates that stereotype of what you guys have said, where you have to hold it all together. That female character has to be all of these things. And when you're seeing that on a screen as a woman, then you feel like that's what you have to do, and you're not allowed to be flawed or, to mess up or do something wrong. And that's what is really refreshing about Wynonna, is that she messes up all the time, but it's okay. She still gets up every day and keeps trying.
And it does often get into like the Smurfette problem, where being a woman is their entire personality. Not so much with Buffy, but even a bit with Buffy, where like the fact that she was a woman who could kick things really hard, that was very much a defining characteristic of her, is that she was a woman. And you think of Lieutenant Uhura or all these, or Smurfette, or basically every action show where there is one woman, and their role is just to be the woman, not to be the sassy one or the sad one or the screw-up one. It's, women should have personalities beyond just being a woman.
I think just to add to that, the most damaging thing is that every other woman has to be their competition. Mm-hmm. And that's what's infuriating, is that they can only have a friend who's not in the same dating range that they would be in. It's like Buffy's friends with Willow, antagonistic with Cordelia, and that's constructed for a reason. Antagonistic with Faith, because they're both powerful women in the same sphere. And rather than be allies, one has to be the dark side, one has to be the light side, and it gets wrapped up with class and poverty and all that kind of stuff. But it's frustrating, because what makes women stronger as a community is when we come together to defend each other. And what I actually like about Wynonna Earp is that first episode, how she gets off that bus to go help that girl, because she's gonna be going out by herself. She needs backup. It doesn't matter if I like her or not, I'm gonna go help her out.
There's also a way in which even though they're performing the sexuality aspects of womanhood, they must be appealing. But also there's a way in which this trope makes it so that for a woman to do these things, she basically has to be a dude with boobs. So yeah, sure, you look really hot in that dress, but we're gonna arrange the stories so we can show how you don't actually bother spending time putting on makeup. You just look like that. Because, you're not like other girls.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I appreciate that. You mentioning that, Paige, and dude with boobs. New band name, I call it.
So I have, to be fair, I have trying to get people turned on to the show. I've described Wynonna as Dean Winchester with boobs.
Yes, yeah, and we talked about that. I think even last time I was in this room, I was actually dressed as Xena, I believe. So
yes, you looked amazing.
Anyway, but this is bringing me back to this concept of doing gender. So I'm a sociologist, I'm a professor, so you gotta learn something. So that's.
Will there be a test?
Yeah, there will be a test. And
we're nerds, of course there's a test.
Get to have a sticker, and the test is you want to ask us a question and be cool. Anyway, no. So doing gender is a little bit different than just understanding the difference between gender as a performance. It's this idea that interactions actually create what we think of as gender. So I think I pulled these two examples because these are strong female characters, strong women characters, but they also have to be shown doing gender. If you think about it, they have to show the softer side. Katniss has to show compassion, right? She has to show, empathy for Peeta, and we could talk about how Peeta and Katniss are a flip script trope, but also Gamora, right? In order to make her sympathetic for audiences, she has to show a softer side, and we could kind of talk about that as reconstructing gender expectations too, but move on for now, unless you have something to add.
Just one final point. You just made me realize there's actually this weird trope with so many of like my personal faves, where like to present them as these like strong fighting women, they have to be so much a dude at first that their character arc is actually learning how to just be regular. Like Zoe from Firefly has to like we have to finally show her being soft enough to like be married to Wash, or Aaron Sun from Farscape. I mean, she literally tells Craig, "You taught me I had a heart." This is like a recurring theme.
Yeah, and that performance is usually encapsulated by being like the love interest of a man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why Xena was kind of special, because her love interest was Gabrielle.
Yeah.
Where they kept trying to put Aries in there, and
Yeah.
Rose.
Hey, bisexuals, like,
Yeah.
we have all of them.
yeah, and that's
I'm bi, but I'm here for the quality dudes, not the creepy smarmy dudes.
Yeah, I think the issue with Aries is more that he, literally like sent them to a different world at one point and messed. Anyway, okay. All right. So usually when we see the kind of reluctant, broken hero sort of theme, it's dudes. And interestingly, I found this quote from an article that said, this was about Sherlock Holmes, and I'm gonna escape so I can read my little